Want to level up your leadership? Welcome to The Boss Coach.
Step right up, let me tell you, friend, where wisdom meets the latest trend. A dash of cool, a splash of class, the Boss Coach leads, no time to pass. Oh, the Boss Coach, the leader's guide.
Oh, boy, that theme song, right? Hey, you guys have heard of Michael Bublé, right? Well, that, not him. Okay. Hey, boss, how's business? Thanks for clicking and listening. My name is Patrick McGranahan, and welcome back to The Boss Coach. So if you're new to the show, I'd encourage you to check out the podcast trailer. That's episode 100. Gives you a little more background on what The Boss Coach is all about me, and any other type of details. But you know what? Let's just jump right into the show today. And our topic is on your motivation for being in leadership. Why do you want to be the boss? You know, for some it's retrospective. Like, why did I get into leadership in the first place? Like, what was wrong with me, right? For others, it's more introspective. Why am I aspiring to be a leader? Why would I do that to myself? I gain a lot of inspiration for these types of things from movies. So how about we enjoy a clip from a classic film that you might recognize?
And then we get back to StoreCon so the board can name me boss.
Whoa, it's so exciting. What can we expect from Boss Jr.?
Oh, you know, that's top secret.
You can tell me, come on.
It's gonna be big.
Like what? Like what? How big? Like what are you
I
going to do?
prefer not to talk about it right now.
Do you not know?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
If you don't know, then why do you want to be boss?
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Am I pushing your buttons?
No.
Yes, I am.
No.
Beep, beep, boop, boop,
No,
boop,
those
beep,
aren't
beep.
even where my buttons would be if I had buttons.
Beep, beep,
So,
boop, boop.
nice try.
I am programming you to tell me why you want to be boss.
I love robots, so this
Beep,
is
beep,
fun.
boop, boop, boop.
We're
Why do
having
you
a
wanna be
good
boss?
time
Why do you want to be
together.
boss? Why do you want to be boss?
Wow! I guess the lesson we learned today is don't ask me why I want to be boss, right? Okay, good talk. Good talk.
So if you didn't recognize that classic film, it was the 2016 movie Storks, voiced by Andy Samberg. Now in this case, Junior is the best delivery stork out there. He delivers babies like nobody's business. And he's going through an identity crisis. See, he's being considered for this promotion. And he just doesn't know if he wants to do it, so that's why he's going through this existential crisis. So I guess I would ask you the same thing. Why do you want to be the boss? Now before you answer, let's look at the common reasons why people want to get into leadership in the first place. So it's not really covered much in other podcasts and really kind of thinly covered in literature. But I read up on it for as much as I could, and frankly, the answers are mostly ooey-gooey. I mean, they're meant to inspire you, they're meant to make you feel good about what you did and your decisions. That's all well and good, but really, if we look at the subject from more of a humanistic, behavioral perspective, I think there's really three clear reasons. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Nice. Okay, so let's look at the good group first. What are the good reasons? In the good category, I would say it's an innate desire to help and guide others, right? You're born into it. It's in your soul. You feel it. You're driven to lead others and help them out. This is what the research says. You know, people are driven to mentor other people, to teach, support, motivate, lift them up. You know, that's where they find their fulfillment. These are what I would call the shepherds that I talked about in the trailer episode. You know, it's their calling. They just have the need to lead. So now let's look at the bad category. So in this group, it's the people who feel like going into leadership is the only way they're going to get promoted and the only way they're going to get more money, even though they may not like it. And sadly, this is the most common one. They're getting into leadership because it's the next thing to do and it gives them more money, and that just seems like that's the thing on their path. Remember, leadership itself is a skill set, agnostic of industry. You can be a leader in a cell phone company and then go be a leader in an automaker, right? It's the leadership part that is the skill, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be an expert in that industry. And that's a good thing to keep in mind when we look at the reasons behind those who use this bad category as a reason to get into leadership. So really what this looks like is somebody who's a really good task leader. They're a high performer in their job, and are also labeled as a high performer in the 9 box if you're familiar with that exercise. But they've maxed out their comp range. They've gone as far as they can, and they still want more, even though they don't necessarily want to deal with people. And so they get kind of miserable in leadership. the people leading part is a whole different skill set, right? You can be super good at what you do, but if you don't like dealing with people, that's a whole nother thing. And we'll actually expand upon this in a future episode about kind of the pitfalls of people leadership versus task leadership. And I would say this is why Junior can't say why he wants to be the boss. You know, he's the best delivery stork there is, but it just seems like it's the next thing to do. It's the next step on the ladder. Does he really want to lead people? In this case, storks. Does he really want to do that? You know, that's part of his crisis. Well, now we'll look at the ugly group. And the ugly group I would classify as they want to get into leadership because they have a desire for control. Yeah, that's ugly, all right. And, you know, some people have this, you know, an out-of-control pseudo-alpha, queen bee, need to dominate others. I'm sure you've seen these people. I would call it more authoritarian over authoritative. They take to leadership easily, though, because they can come off as, decisive, confident. People are drawn to those who seem to have everything together. Another word for this would be megalomaniacal. Boy, that's a $5 word. These people are also drawn to appointed power positions that give them authority because that's where they get the most satisfaction. I would say they're not successful leaders, but they're often fairly successful people. Now, what I mean by that is in leading others, because of their more authoritarian approach, it doesn't leave any room for anyone else's input, and it certainly doesn't make people feel comfortable or protected underneath them. But they can be successful people in that they achieve what they want to achieve. You see the difference there? Even though what they want to accomplish is bad, frankly, they are able to do it. They achieve it because of their somewhat bullish personality. Like they just kind of ram over people. So they get what they want, but that doesn't mean it's right. What does this look like? Well, Dwight Schrute from The Office, frankly. He loves telling people what to do. He likes being in charge. He likes being the volunteer sheriff. He likes being second in command. He's really shooting for Michael's job. These are the people that just are driven to tell people what to do and control them. If this is sounding familiar, these are the wolves from the trailer episode. They like to control their followers' lives. That's what makes them feel fulfilled, controlling other people. And that's not the best motivation for getting into leadership. So I would argue that everyone's reason for getting into leadership falls into one of those categories. For myself, I know people in each one of those categories. I'm sure you do too. Probably some names came to mind. And you know, I would say my own father was in that bad category. Now that may sound kind of strange, but it's not altogether a bad thing, even though he's in the bad category. He got into it because he was a super good performer in his normal job. So he worked in a factory. He could do everyone else's jobs. He could switch their positions. He was a brake manager at one point, meaning that he was a really high performer in the tasks at hand. So they said, well, you know, you can lead tasks. Let's see if you can lead people. That's a whole different skill set, as I think we've proven at this point. So he didn't like it. Now, he was actually fairly successful at it. They did set some production records because he was good at getting people behind him, but he was pretty well exhausted by the idea of leading people because that's a lot of ooey gooey skills that, again, we'll get into another day. So that's just not what he wanted to do. That's just not in his DNA, and that's okay. And if that's not in your DNA, that's fine too. Like, you don't have to lead people. You continue to be a task leader. You shouldn't do it just because it's the next thing in your list. So I would say if you're in the good category, that's great. You're a natural. You're still going to need guidance. You still need to help iron sharpen iron, you know. So that's why you come to podcasts like this. That's why you do research. It's because you want to get better, and I'm here to help you do that. But if you're in the bad category, you know what? Don't bail on yourself. Just level up your skills. And I would say that you can still learn. It just doesn't come naturally. And again, please follow this podcast. Follow other podcasts. Do reading. Do research. Let's get you out of that bad category to where it's not just because it's a box to check off on your list, it's another rung on the ladder, but because you can find the things that make leadership of people fulfilling. And I would argue that it is very, very fulfilling. And again, if you're in that bad category, I would say don't make yourself miserable, you know, if you hate it. But I would consider non-people leading roles like a program manager, business analyst, etc. There's lots of things you can do that enhance your task leadership skills, but where you don't need to lead people. So finally, I would say if you're in the ugly category, I would encourage you to find another outlet for your need for control. Start a company, but maybe let somebody else run it, Run a website, start an app. You get the idea. Do something where you can be in charge of the issues and have control, but not control of people. Like you can be very driven and very successful, but maybe people leadership isn't your thing. So we run through the good, the bad, the ugly reasons for getting into leadership. Hopefully you're forming an idea now of where your motivation lies in becoming a leader. And this is where we get to our assignment of the day. So I like to leave you with something tangible you can do after every single episode, where when you stop listening, you can get right into it and start applying this new knowledge. So here's what it is for today. Do you look around? Do you have a whiteboard in your workspace? Maybe just a piece of paper, post-it notes. Maybe you like to post on social a lot. Whatever it is, we're going to put something out in the world. And this is what you're going to do. I want you to write or post, I lead because blank. And then fill in that blank for you. Just put it out there. You know what? I'll put mine out there. I lead because I care about people and a job well done. That's it. It's not just the folks, but I'm also drawn to executing well. So it's really the task and the people leadership. So what's your reason? Have you thought of one yet? Just make sure you get it out there and in a place where you can be reminded of it, where you see it every day, or you see it at least frequently. And if you're posting it somewhere where other people can see it or read it, make that part of a conversation starter. Oh, I see you lead because of whatever. Tell me more about that. Let me know your story, the reasons people get into leadership. I think that would be a great, helpful way to level up your leadership game. So let's circle back, though, before we go to our stork friend, Junior. How did he resolve his existential crisis about whether he wanted to be a boss or not? He was in the bad category, I think, as we said, because being a boss just seemed like the next thing. He didn't know why. It's just what comes after the thing he's doing now. But over the course of that film, he gets back in touch with the mission, the why of what they do and why it's so important. And it reminded him that he still has the passion for getting that job done well. And it actually drove him to lead and inspire everyone around him to be just as good as he is. He realized that was his reason. It was spreading the passion and making everybody up to his level. And he actually then leads with a very simple mantra. Make a plan, stick to the plan, always deliver. Man, that's kind of beautiful, It's actually really poignant for an awkward cartoon bird. All right, well, thank you for your time. I'm Patrick McGranahan, the Boss Coach. Make sure to thumbs up and subscribe so you get noticed when new episodes are out there. You'll see there's a few posted now, so jump in. Tell a friend, tell a coworker, tell a family member, tell an enemy. I don't care. Tell somebody. Help get the message of the Boss Coach out there so we can help everybody level up their leadership game. Also, post some comments. I want to hear from you. Are you in the good, the bad, or the ugly category? Why did you get into leadership? I just want to hear your suggestions, and it'll help to form future episodes. So until then, I will see you next time on The Boss Coach. Now, back to work, boss.
Okay, good talk.
Thank you for joining us today for The Boss Coach, hosted by Patrick McGranahan. We'd also like to thank our associate producer, Hannah, and consulting contributor, Stephanie. Original music provided by Sono AI Studio. All statements and opinions by our host and guests are solely their own observations and may not reflect those of their contemporaries or employers. Please check out other episodes of The Boss Coach for more valuable opportunities to level up your leadership. Until next time, I am your announcer, Ava. Have a great day, and as always, lead with your heart.